Hey, welcome in. Happy Friday. I am Dr. Kawana D, your government contracts expert. And today we're just going to be talking about why you should care about your business and why your business should have a purpose. And so if you're here today, let me know where you are joining from. If you're joining from the Facebook group, be sure to click on StreamYard so I can see your name, all those different things. All right. So where you joining from, type your name in the chat, your name, where you're from, what type of business you have. We want to know all those different things. Today, we're going to be talking about the purpose in your business and why that should really matter to you. For those of you who are joining for the first time, I am Dr. Kawana D. I am a government contracts expert. In fact, I am a wealth creator, right? Who just happens to be an expert on government contracting because there's so much opportunities for you to tap into the trillions of dollars that's on the table for you to create wealth, right? So overall, I'm a wealth expert. I show entrepreneurs every single day how to actually create generational wealth with their business by tapping into those government contracts that are available. If you're not doing this, just know that you are leaving hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars potentially on the table every single year that you're trying to figure it out, that you're making excuses every single year that you're leaving this money on the table. You are rejecting your purpose. And so so welcome in. So I have like 5 tips and things that I'm going to share with you today about government contracting and as far as your business and why you should have a purpose-driven business. So I see Roosevelt from Tampa, Florida, contract funding. I see Charlton, hello. Looking forward to another great informative interview today, informative show. Super awesome. Yeah, so who else is here? Let me know in the chat who you are, where you're from, and also like what type of business services you provide, because there's potentially some things that that you don't know about your business services, how you can expand upon them, how you can actually tap into these government contracting dollars that are on the table for you, of course. And just know that there are opportunities regardless of where you are in the world. I mean, of course, I only help entrepreneurs within the US, but it doesn't matter where you are in the world. There's opportunities. Even if you're in Canada, they have similar programs. Like even if you're in Africa, they have similar programs. If you're in Europe, they have similar programs. So all of this stuff works everywhere. But here in the United States, of course, there are hundreds of thousands and trillions and billions of dollars, of course, trillions of dollars that are being untapped into. In fact, so a friend of mine, a great friend of mine, who's also a coach in another space, another area. So she doesn't do business, but she's like some type of counselor. She does like counseling service. She actually forwarded me an email that she received, and it was about like Biden making the promise and signing a bill to increase the spending of federal spending up to $100 million for small disadvantaged businesses. So if you're a small business and you're here and you're watching this today, let me know in the chat that you're a small business. If you feel like you're at a disadvantage, which means that you have under 500 employees, maybe you're at a disadvantage, and you're not making the type of money that the government says you should be making in your industry, which is like at the point of 30 million a year over a 5-year period, whatever that is, whatever that number is for you, then you're at a disadvantage, right? And so if you have a business in the US and you're not doing government contracting, let me know in the chat who you are, because I'm going to talk about the power of purpose in business today. I'm going to talk about the power of purpose and having purpose in a business today. So, hey, CC from Florida. Let me see. Virtual assistants, DBA, gyms, products, and services. Okay, so you have some virtual assistant services that you could provide. In fact, there are a lot of opportunities for call centers. Just so you know, for government contracts, there's government contracts for call centers. Most people don't know that. Even for staffing, of course, most people don't know that you can actually staff virtual assistants, for government agencies. But most people don't know that. Hey, Miss Lyric from Atlanta, Georgia, Lyric Vaughn Creations LLC. What type of services do you provide? Let me know. So anyways, we're going to talk about the power of having purpose in your business. And I have 5 tips for you today that I'm going to share. So years ago, I don't know if you guys remember, let me try to fix my hair real quick. I don't know if you guys remember, but like years ago, there was a man, he's a pastor. His name is Rick Warren, and he wrote this book called The Purpose Driven Church, right? And so this purpose driven church book was such a phenomenon. And he started like a church at a coffee shop. And the purpose of that was to get out of the building, to have the church without walls and all those different things. And he started teaching different concepts of how to actually have purpose in your church, to where you're serving and actually creating impact and all those different things. But at the end of the day, having purpose in a church kind of trickled down for me to having purpose in your life, and also having purpose in a business, because it really, really, really matters. So there's 5 different things that having purpose in your business can actually bring for you. And what I mean by that is, like, sometimes we just start a business to start a business. Start a business because we want to make a little bit of money, right? We start a business because we want to be able to pay some bills. We start a business because we want to be able to create a legacy and have something to pass down, which those children, by the way, they don't care about some business that you're passing down. If they're not a part of you growing it and developing, you're going to hand them something that they're going to get closed down. Literally, I say it all the time. I'm just saying. So, but we start a business for all of these different reasons, but it's not really the purpose, right? It's not really the purpose. And so when I say what is your purpose, and so you guys hear me talk about this all the time about having being able to position your business as a problem solving company, or a company that actually solves world problems, right? That's big. That's huge, right? So for instance, there's a lot of homelessness that's happening right now. But there's real estate agents that are out here. There are people who or have rental properties that are out here. There are people who invest in properties that are out here, who are just investing to make money. But what if you turned that real estate and that access to those properties as a solution to fighting homelessness? Now there's a multi-million dollar contract for you per home, like per home, right? And so when I say having a business and positioning it to solve problems, it allows you to create more cash flow in your business. And so, of course, there's a lot of cleanup that needs to happen, right? We have natural disasters, we have floods, we have earthquakes, we have all these different things around the world. Trees are falling, everything, houses are crumbling. In fact, in Florida, a couple years ago, like a whole apartment building, you guys saw it on the news, fell with people in it and stuff. So just all this debris that needs to be cleaned up. Well, if you have a cleaning janitorial company, of course, how can you take, aside from cleaning buildings, aside from washing walls and taking out the trash and all whatever it is that you do, power washing streets and all those different things, if you position that cleaning company as a solution to cleaning up buildings that have dilapidated, or that have fallen, trees that have fallen, now you're a problem solver. Now you have a greater purpose than just making money, right? And so there's 5 different tips that I'm going to share, right? But I want you to think about, like, I gave the example for janitorial, I gave the example for real estate, but whatever it is that you do, I mean, there's people who are hungry in the world. It's like the world solutions to food shortages. And if you have a catering business, if you cook, if you bake, if you have a business and that is your gift, stir up your gift and position it as a problem solving company to solve the problem of hunger, right? World hunger. It really exists, right? And so, anyways, one of the tips that having purpose and having a purpose driven business can bring you is having purpose in business brings you profits. Yes, it does. So, as you can see, when I'm thinking through the process of taking your business and making it a solution to the world, and the government is responsible for this world here in the United States, like what happens here in the United States, right? They have money for that, for problem solvers. So when you think of it as that, then you're like, okay, well, I can land a half a million. This is why and how it's possible to land a half a million, or even a quarter of a million, or even $1 million contract, because you're a problem solver. So when you landing those types of contracting cash flow opportunities, what it does is it increases your profit margin, because then you're able to position yourself from going from having more bills than money, or more expenses than revenue coming in, right? More outgo than income. When you flip that script. Now you have more money than expenses, more money than bills, more income than outgo. And what that does is it increases your profit margin. When you have a higher profit margin, money begets money. Like really, it does. When banks start seeing that you have all this cash flow left over, they're gonna start throwing you loans. You be like, I don't even need loans now. When I was broke, y'all didn't give me no money. But guess what? You have to have money to make money. And so this is just one of the ways that you can actually turn your business into a business of purpose that solves solutions so that you can tap into increasing your profits. Hello, somebody. Somebody said, like where storms hit. Yeah. What is the way to be available to help a situation as that? So, so when storms hit, okay. So here's an answer to that. Is it Yolanda? So here's the answer to that. So when storms hit, and there's like floods and all these different things. Like they have FEMA. In fact, FEMA normally responds to those areas. Well, FEMA contracts small businesses, right? So you can get on the FEMA emergency list, or you can get on your state emergency list. So they actually have emergency lists where you can sign up as a janitorial cleaning company, or even a catering company, whatever services that you provide that can be a solution to those types of situations, or situations that comes out of those types of natural disasters. Then those are the opportunities that they will actually that will come your way, and you can tap into those different types of opportunities, right? And so just like when it's been some decades now, but when they had the twin towers, 9/11, when they had the 9/11, right? I mean, nobody was prepared for that. I mean, they were calling EMT and emergency response from all over the US. Just imagine, had you been on that emergency list, or had proposed a solution to go over and help, they would have gave you a contract like crazy. Restoration, yes, they would have gave you a contract like crazy. So anyways, so having purpose in your business, 5 things that it does is, number 1, it brings you profits. The second thing that having purpose in business is, we don't want to just make profits. If you invest $1 and you get $5 back, you have $4 in profits, right? We all agree that's a nice small profit, but it's still profitable, right? But what you want to do when it comes to having purpose in your business is create prosperity. There's a difference between being profitable and being prosperous, right? Prosperity means that there's an abundance in everything that you have. Abundance in cash flow, abundance in lifestyle, abundance in better health, and all those different things add up to being prosperous and having prosperity. And so sometimes it only by becoming a purpose-driven business, that's the only way to tap into more profits and then into prosperity, because more profits brings you prosperity. But only if you flip those profits into assets that's going to continue to grow and bring you even more opportunities to grow and flip more money and all those different things, right? So it's like it becomes an ongoing thing. So having a purpose brings you profits. It also brings you prosperity. With more profits, you can acquire more assets to continue growing your profits, right? And scripturally, it says, I come that you may have life, and life more abundantly, right? And so if that is your purpose, if you're living out of biblical principles, if your business is based off those biblical principles that are true, that cannot fail, right? Then of course it brings you abundance, which is prosperity into your business. And so one of the third things that having a purpose-driven business brings you is that it actually brings you principles. It allows you to be able to build your business off principles. Principles like building on a solid foundation, sowing seeds to harvest, doing unto others what you will have them do unto you, and being like a tree that's planted by living rivers of living water. These are biblical principles that you can actually build your business off, that works. And when your business work, it just works, and it begin to work for you rather than you working for it, right? So those are the 3 things that having a purpose-driven business can bring you. Number 4 is having a purpose-driven business becomes your promise, right? Purpose is promise. When you're flowing in your purpose, everything that was promised to you, you shall have, right? Meaning that your gifts will make room for you. When the Bible talks about how your gifts will make room for you, well, if you're really gifted at talking to teens who have gone through bad experiences or trauma, talking to those teenagers, well, there's contracting opportunities for you to actually get a contract talking to teens for mental health, to help them through those problems and those historical traumas that they've experienced, those dramatic experiences that they've had, right? And so when you have that type of purpose and you're living in that promise and you're operating in your gifts, of course, it allows you to be fruitful and multiply, right? So which is another scripture and another principle. It allows you to be fruitful and multiply so that you can subdue the things that have dominion over you, which some of those things could be, maybe you're struggling. Well, you're going to have dominion over struggle. Some of those things would be, maybe you have bad credit. Well, in order to have dominion over that, you have to have money to fix your credit, right? And all those different things. And so purpose is promise. So another thing that having a purpose driven business can bring you is having purpose makes you a premium business. A purpose driven business becomes a premium business, which means that when you're able to solve those problems, you're able to solve those problems at a premium price. And all these things tie back into increased profits, more cash flow, prosperity, standing on principles, all of your promise that you shall have life and abundantly, and all those things come full circle right back to you becoming a premium entrepreneur. So if, for instance, let's say Tamika helps purpose is to help reduce homelessness. Tamika has tiny homes that she builds to house homeless people, and the government pays Tamika maybe $100,000 per tiny home. That's only cost her $10,000 to build, right? So now you have profits, you have prosperity, you have purpose, you have your promise, and all those different things, and you become a premium tiny home builder, right? A premium entrepreneur who has a premium product that someone like the government will be willing to pay $100,000 per tiny home. That's just an example, right? And so, anyways, I always talk about like having purpose in life. I talk about Rick Warren's having the purpose driven church, because I remember um going to church and feeling like some of these things, some of the stuff that we learn in church is like, what, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Like some of the things is like, what are we doing this for? Like, for instance, you have to wear, when I was growing up, you have to wear these long skirts. And you better not wear no skirt that's above your knees, right? Like you use a Jezebel. And I'm like, what is the purpose of teaching people that? I mean, I understand respect and all those different things, but I mean, come on now. Sometimes it gets hot and you just want to have on a little skirt and you ain't even thinking about being a Jezebel. You're just thinking about how hot it is and you just want to be cute, right? And so a greater purpose could be like maybe teaching someone how to pay their bills, right? In the church. You can teach people financial literacy and how to handle your funding and how to, increase your profit margins and minimize your expenses and all those different things. Now that is purpose. The purpose is to now adapt that into someone's life that it actually helps them, right? Showing me how to wear a long skirt does not help me, but teaching me how to pay my bills right and on time to increase my profit margin and also to maintain good credit. Now that helps me. And so when I think about purpose of business in that particular aspect, everything that you do, every decision that you make, every choice that you make, every action that you take should be on purpose. And there's really no way to have that purpose if you don't even have a goal. And so this is the reason the writer say, I remember those days. It was tough for ladies. It was. And you better not try to get up and preach as a woman. You the devil, right? So but yeah, I grew up in those times and I grew up Kojic. And so, it was really crazy growing up in the Kojic church. But so like I said, like, so taking from Rick Warren and thinking about like, how do I adapt the purpose-driven business model into my business so that every decision that I make is for a purpose. Like if you decide to take a class, what is the purpose of you taking that class when it comes to your business? It should be for you to develop as a business owner. It could be for you to learn how to make more money as a business owner if that is your goal. If your end goal is to make more money, if your end goal is to become a premium entrepreneur so the government will buy from you or corporations can buy from you or top paying clients will be attracted to you, then of course now you're doing business on purpose. Now, if you go buy a car as an entrepreneur and that car don't serve the purpose to where you're going, right? It doesn't bring you more clients, doesn't bring you more money unless it does those things, then that is out of alignment with your particular purpose. And so everything that you do, every decision that you make, every yes that you say yes to, everything that you say no to, it should all be aligned to your greater purpose. And which brings me back to SMART goals, right? Everyone who is an entrepreneur should have some type of goal of where you want to be in the next 6 months, where you want to be in the next year, and where you want to be up until the next 5 years and work your way backwards. So everything that you do today is going to show where you're going to be in the next year. So if you're not doing what you need to be doing, the right thing today to be in alignment with what you say you want to be, then you're out of alignment and you're out of purpose. And it's going to show up in every aspect of your bank account, your cash flow, your growth, your development, and all those different things. And so, anyway, today, really, I just wanted to talk about the power of purpose in your business because it really can bring you more profits when you have a purpose. I really want you to think about, okay, how can I turn my business into a purpose-driven, business? What type of goals do I need to set? What type of action steps do I need to really take? What kind of training do I really need to get in order for me to get there so that I'm not walking out of lack of knowledge, but I'm operating knowledgeably so that I can actually hit my goals in all those different areas. And so at the end of the day, I want you guys to know that purpose is everything. Being a problem solver is going to help you really, really tap into not only government money, but also tap into grants because most of the grants that people are talking about, they want to have all these grants and all these things, right? Most of the grants are written up for people who solve problems, and they're written up for a specific purpose that they want to accomplish, right? And so if you are not a purpose-driven entrepreneur, you not only miss out on those grant opportunities, but you also miss out on contracting opportunities. You also miss out on opportunities to really grow a thriving business. And so purpose is everything, you guys. They I don't even know how to say your name, but I'm gonna say Miss Oliver. Say, yes, I feel you. I have that background too. They taught what they knew, and I'm grateful to learn to do it to do better. Yes, you're right. You're right. Yep. They taught what they knew. And it wasn't bad. It just didn't have a purpose, right? It just didn't serve you when you became an adult. It doesn't serve you as an entrepreneur. It just doesn't serve you. So it was just a total disconnect between what you were learning back in those days versus what you really needed to know. What you really needed to know is like, some of them deacons, you know what I'm saying, like be a little bit touchy feely. You needed to know that type of knowledge. Never let a person touchy feely, that type of stuff. So Miss Oliver says, I'm a problem solver, but one who needs funds to do more. And so here's the thing. You do need funds. And I'm glad that you brought that up. Because funds is a part of your purpose, right? In order to solve a problem, in order to operate as a purpose-driven business, I mean, when they say money is not everything, somebody is lying. Those are the things that broke people talk about. Somebody broke said that money is not everything because, as you can see, you need money to grow a business. You need money to build a business. You need money to grow more money, right? Because they're like, money are seeds, right? The type of seeds that you plant is the type of tree that you're going to grow. If you don't plant money seeds, you're not going to grow money seeds. If you want to make more money, you got to plant money seeds. If you're growing broke seeds, like seeds of discord and brokenness, then guess what? You're going to have more broke. That's what you're going to grow, right? And so you definitely have to have money to grow money. But here's the thing, I was just talking to my cousin about this yesterday, last night, because he has a trucking business that he just gave up, and he went back to working a traditional 9 to 5, driving somebody else's truck. And he's like, I got this, I got that, I don't have no money to do this other business that I want to do. I got child support, I got all these different things. I'm like, cousin, this is me. Like, listen to what I'm saying to you, right? What is your purpose? You are so smart. You're very intelligent. You're skillful. I mean, you do floors, you build houses, you do all these things, right? You have to learn to stir up your gifts, right? Going back to work for someone else, you did that out of fear. But what is your purpose? Why do you believe that you were put on this earth? Because when you tap into your purpose, it's going to bring you everything that you need. He's like, cousin, I just don't have the money to do that. I say, everybody has money. Everybody has money. You're just not willing to do what you need to do to access that capital, right? Everybody has money. So if it's credit that you need to fix, you have to find a way. Like, people, I mean, when we want to bury somebody who did not take the time to to get life insurance and all those different things, guess what we do? We do car washes, we sell chicken plates, we do all of that stuff just to come up with the money to bury a person, right? So you have to think about your business the same way. When you say you need funding, right? You have to think about, what can I do? What can I sell? What type of extra stuff do I have that I don't even need? I can sell an extra car. I can give some, do some lifts, deliver some food, go clean somebody's house, go cut some grass, do what you got to do. Because and I said to him clearly, I said that, okay, you're talking about all these different things, and you went and got a job to work really hard to stay in your situation. You've been doing the same thing for 20, 25, 30 years, working for somebody else, trying to work your way out of child support, and it has not worked, but you continue to do the same thing. You need a disruption. You need a pattern disruption. You need something to interrupt you. You have to be willing to do something different, cousin. And that's what I said to him, right? But it's the truth, right? If what you've been doing out of your own mind, because you think this is the way you're going to solve a problem of not having money, knowing that you need money to make money, right? If what you've been doing has not worked, it will not work. It's already been proven. You've been doing it, right? You've already been doing it, working extra hours. Guess what? When people who have jobs, and it's nothing bad for people who have jobs, when they want to accomplish something, they're like, well, let me just work overtime, let me just make more money. Guess what? When you make more money and you work overtime, they cut your check. In taxes, they take it. You be like, I worked 80 hours this week, I'm about to have me a fat check. And then you find out that your check is like not even what you thought it was going to be. Why? Because the tax code is not made for W-9 or W-2 workers. It's not. It's made for entrepreneurs, where you can get those tax breaks and all those different things. And so working harder is not the solution. You have to work smarter. That's the solution. Do something different. What haven't you tried, right? And maybe that'll work. So anyways, I think for me, it's getting that group of people who have the same drive that I do. Yeah. So Poya, I'm glad that you talked about that. I'm glad you brought that up. I want to teach something or education. I see the emails from my states all the time. Yeah. So here's the thing, like, getting in a group of people who have the same drive that you do. Masterminds are everything. Like, because sometimes it's like we could be in our own head and you don't know what you don't know. And if we individually were going to accomplish something on our own, we would have done it in the however lifetime span that you've already been on earth. You would have done it. You have to be around other people who's already winning, so you can see, how did you do it? What is the blueprint? And I guarantee the blueprint that they got, they learned from somebody else. So blueprints are transferable. Like, blueprints are transferable. And so when I share the knowledge that I'm sharing transferable knowledge that it worked for me, it worked for the people before me, it worked for the people who came after me, and it also can work for you if you take the same action. And so masterminds are everything, so that you can get out of your own head, so that you can learn something that you did not know, so that you can apply and do some things that you would not have known that you needed to apply or do. And so from my knowledge, there's no free masterminds, but some of them are pretty affordable to get in, right? Because had I not known, yes, the mastermind. So had I not known that that masterminds even existed. I didn't even know until like I would say past 5 years, people start talking about masterminds. I'm like, well, what is that? Right. And then I got into a mastermind and my mind was completely blown. Right. So years ago, I'm gonna tell you guys this. So years ago, and this is all, it all comes full circle when it comes to having a purpose driven business. I didn't understand that a mastermind was a part of the purpose, that it was supposed to be a part of the plan, but I didn't even know that it existed. But once it did exist, it actually helped catapult me into my purpose even faster. And so here's the thing. So years ago, my goal was to make $10,000 a month. That was my goal. Like with government contracting, that was my goal. Like get some contracts, make $10,000 a month, and you're gonna be good, right? $10,000 a month is like $120,000 a year. I thought that was some money. I thought it was, until I got into a mastermind and people started talking about how they're making $100,000 in a month. And then I got into another mastermind, and these fools talking about they making $1 million in a single month. I didn't even know that those things were possible, but it's not until you get into those rooms of other people who are doing it, like-minded individuals who are doing way more than what you were doing, and then you see those things become possible. This is the reason why teamwork is the dream work. Brain share is everything. Being in a group coaching program is way more valuable than doing a one-on-one, because you get to see how other people are thinking. You get to learn what other people know. You actually get to understand the type of questions to ask, because you don't know what type of questions to ask unless you're hearing somebody else ask those questions. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I wasn't even thinking along those lines, right? So this is the reason why masterminds, group coaching programs, trainings, and being in those environments, networking events, that stuff is so key to succeeding. Yes. Poya say, yeah, wow, I need to be in the room. And I didn't know. I did not know. I did not. And you do need to be in a room, right? Yeah, sharing with other like-minded people. And you do need to be in a room, because I didn't even know that it was possible. And then I started having similar results, because then I knew that I needed to stretch my goals. I needed to extend and expand on my purpose. I needed to dream bigger so that I can have a bigger purpose. And now my goal is like, I need to make like $1 million a month, right? That is that right there will stretch your imagination. But you don't just get those type of results without doing work. And you don't get those type of results without purpose. And you don't get those type of results without solving problems. So what my problem solvers are. Yeah. If you're a problem solver, you can get it's the sky's the limit. You can get those type of results. I see it all the time. I'm like, this close to it, to having the results that I never imagined in a world, never in a million years dreamed that I would have those type of results. Like this close. Like even just the stuff that I see. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know that this stuff was possible. So anyways, so masterminds are great. So put on this earth to show God's love through hospitality. Yes, cook, serve, own multiple successful businesses, and to teach others how to do it. Yes, you gotta pass the baton, like holding on to information, holding on to things that can help somebody else. Like it literally will keep you stuck, right? We can all grow generational wealth and have financial freedom. And it is true. It's a lot of money on the table for everybody. I mean, in fact, I talk about contracting with the government and how if you have a purpose-driven business and you solve problems, like it will not only solve your problem of not having those things or having lack or not being prosperous or not making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a month or a year, or even $1 million in a year. It will solve that problem for you. As you continue to solve the world's problem, your problems will automatically be solved, right? If you continue to serve others, you will always be served. Yes, there's always going to be somebody who's there to serve you. So yes, I love it, Paya. I want to grow a transitional home for people. So just in who want to get unstuck. Yeah. And so, in fact, I just saw, in fact, so here's the thing. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are, what state you're in. Yesterday, I saw a contract opportunity for transitional housing. Okay. You say you want a transitional home, right? And I can forward it to you if you drop your email for transitional housing for reentry. People who are coming out of jail, coming out of prisons, and re-entering into society. You're in Minnesota. So this one is in California. So I'll forward it to you, and you can either partner with someone here, but this is something that you want to do. The opportunity is there, right? So and for people who are reentry, transitional housing for people who are reentry with a what do you call it? Life skills, teaching them life skills, how to go to a job interview, how to fix your credit, how to start a business, how to do this, how to clean a house, how to open up a bank account, life skills, a huge opportunity, a contracting opportunity that's available right now. And I was like, who can I send this to? Because I mean, I'm just one person. I can't do everything, right? I'm like, who can I send this to, right? So I've been looking for someone to send this to. So anyways, drop your email if you want me to send it. I'll go ahead and forward it over to you. So anyway, problem solving. I do life skills to a T. Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely forward it to you. So anyways, have a business of purpose, you guys. There's power in purpose. The power in the purpose is not only will it bring you profits and increase your cash flow without you having to work harder, without you having to chase customers and all those different things, it will bring you those profits. And those profits and having purpose will ultimately bring you prosperity, because now you have more money to be able to solve even more problems, or to also be able to acquire more assets. When you plant assets brings you more prosperity, right? So you have to have money to make money. I'm not talking to broke folks. I'm not talking to broke folks. So you got to have money to make money. You're not going to be able to make money for free. So you have to have that understanding. In order for you to grow money trees, you have to plant money seeds. All right. So purpose also brings you principles. Principles of building your business, and your foundation allows you to be able to do things like reap harvest and to sustain your business throughout economic downfalls. When the economy is failing, your business is planted, rooted, and planted by the trees, like a tree planted by the rivers of living water. It will not fail because it's rooted really, really deep, right? And currency is flowing, right? So your business cannot fail, right? So you want to have purpose. Purpose is promise. He promised that you will be fruitful and multiply. You will have abundance in your life, right? That's God's purpose and his promise for you. When you're operating in your gifts, it allows you to be able to do just that. It puts you in total alignment with purpose, right? Purpose is also allows you to become a premium buyer, right? Not a premium buyer, a premium entrepreneur, which means that there will be a premium buyer that will be attracted to you specifically because they understand your purpose. If they knew that Poya, if they knew that you have a life skills program and they have a problem with reentry, people coming out of prison who needs to learn life skills, and you're a problem solver, then that means that makes you a premium brand. You have to become known for something. You have to become known for something that you do. Alicia said that's confirmation. Yes. Yeah. So absolutely. So those are the 5 tips that I have for you about how the power of having purpose in business, the power of having purpose in business, it will bring you all of those things. Everything that you started a business to accomplish, or even bigger. You got to dream bigger, right? Everything that you probably didn't even know that your business was a problem solver. Your business could be positioned as a purpose-driven business, and it will bring you prosperity. You probably didn't even know those things, but having a purpose, what is your purpose? Have you even thought about that? Have you ever asked yourself, what is my purpose in business? Why did I start this business? How can I go deeper? How can I solve more problems? How can I really position myself? What does my brand say about me? How do I want to present myself to the government agency? Well, they say Alicia is a problem solver for homelessness, right? Those things. So every time they have a bill that's written to add more money to solve the problems of homelessness, guess who they're going to call? Alicia. They're going to call you because they know your purpose. They're going to call you for it, right? I want to build reentry housing for people who have lost out or fell off in life, in some residential assisted living. Yeah. So do it. So everything that you do, so you say you want. When you say I want to, you have to start telling yourself that I will. Action steps. Create the action steps. Create the action plan. What do I need to do? Who do I need to meet? What do I need to know? What do I need to learn in order to bring this want and desire into fruition, into a reality? Create those action steps and take the action, because that's the only way for you to create, take your want from a dream into a reality, is to create those action steps. And you have to ask yourself all of those things. All right, so have a purpose driven business, you guys. It's very powerful. And I'll see you all next week. Actually, so we're having a 5-day challenge. I almost forgot. So we're having a 5-day challenge. It actually starts on Monday, where we're actually helping people define their purpose and define how much the government will spend on their purpose, and define how to position yourself as a problem solver, and how to think strategically outside the box as a premium entrepreneur who the government will love to pay a premium price for your service and your product. So we're showing people exactly how to do that in our upcoming 5-day challenge that starts on Monday. It's an hour to an hour and a half a day for 5 days. Then you will walk away not only pre-qualified to sell your services at a premium price to the government, but you will walk away understanding your purpose and having a purpose-driven business and being on your way to tapping into hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're currently leaving on the table, and even millions of dollars that you did not know was yours. They've already written you into the bill and said, this money belongs to women, this money belongs to minorities, this money belongs to small businesses, this money belongs to Native Americans, to Asian Americans, this money belongs to small businesses in general. This money belongs to veteran-owned businesses, and it's trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that they're like, buckets and buckets of money. And they're like, where are you? Do you understand your purpose? Do you not? Do you not know who you are? And if you don't know who you are, I guarantee by the time you walk away from this challenge, you will understand your purpose, you will understand your power, and you will also understand how to connect your purpose with prosperity that's waiting for you on the other side. So govconchallenge.com is where you will go. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop the link right here. Govconchallenge.com is where you will go. Govconchallenge.com. You guys get registered. And get ready. Get registered and get ready. Just be ready to change your life and change the way that you think about business, change the way that you position yourself, and also be ready to become a premium entrepreneur, so that the premium buyer, like the government and corporations and every other entity that has trillions of dollars on the table for these social economic disadvantaged groups, right? For you, that they will know your name, they will know your purpose, and they will know that you are here to solve the problem, and they will write you a big check. So get registered, govconchallenge.com, you guys, and I'll see you all next week. All right.